Hi guys, so we are back again with another video, and this one is going to be a bit different. We're actually going to talk about school. So we both did the IB program, the International Baccalaureate program, and we just wanted to talk about our experiences and the good, the bad, the whole thing, you know. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe.
A quick little backstory. Yeah, so my name's Kevin, friends with Juliet, met at school, went to U of T together for criminology. I did my IB in Zimbabwe. Yeah, so I moved there when I was 16 and I finished my IB when I was 18. And so yeah, that's a bit of an introduction.
Look at you, you're so old.
I
did my IB in Wales, and I went there when I was 15. Okay, you know what? It's because my birthday is in October. But I went there when I was 15. And then I finished when I was 17, and then I came to Toronto to study at U of T, and I did criminology too.
I think, and you'll probably agree to this, but I went from a public school system in Ottawa in Canada to IB, and really and truly it kicked my ass. IB kicked my ass in the first few months to points where like my professors and my teachers were like, what are you writing? Like, what is this? Like, what is the quality of education you received before coming here? And so quickly they whipped me into shape. You learn how to write concisely and clearly. You learn how to, you know, be really engaged with the material that you're dealing with, and there's no time to play around. Like, there's not a thing that exists. And because it's so competitive, all your classmates are trying to like pick at you too. It's just, you gotta be on point, you know?
Oh my gosh, I remember, you know what, I went to private school my whole life, right? But then I remember in my school, like, academics was like a really big thing. So like, people were always like teasing you. We had this thing called class carrier. So that's like, if you had the lowest score, then like everybody would be asking each other like, oh, what did you get in the exam? What did you get in the exam, right? So if you had the lowest score, everybody would be like, oh, class carrier, you have the lowest score. So you don't wanna be the person failing. So you were always there ready to study, ready to you know. But that was my middle school experience. When I went to the IB, because I had gone through like a British system my whole life, so I had also done IGCSE. So IB was not that much different. I would say one of the biggest benefits to IB is that when you get to university, like, if you do above a 5, so it's marked between 1 and 7, and if you do above a 5 in your higher level courses, they all get what's the word?
Transferred, basically.
Transferred, yeah. They all get transferred as university credits. So in Toronto at U of T, you need 5 credits for your first year. So I had 2 of my 3 courses transferred. Yeah, I got a 4 in English.
That's
literature. I don't even know who sent me to the literature higher level. I thought I was like that. I should have done something else. I should have done English standard level. But anyway, that's another story. Why are you laughing at me though?
Yo, be happy.
You know my writing is shit.
Be happy.
But yeah, so I got 2 out of my 3 courses transferred, and then I only had to take pretty much only had to take 2 courses at university level.
Good. High level history, high level biology, high level theater arts. Yeah.
No!
Yeah. And bio and theater arts, I got 3s in both of them.
What were your standards?
My standards were English. I think that's it. I took math studies, the easy one.
I'm so jealous. You know what? Because I don't even know, but there's always this pressure to do so well, right? And then like people always made fun of courses like math studies or environmental studies, and truly I should have taken math studies because I don't know I'm really bad at math. Like I'll be able to learn something and learn a principle, but I wouldn't be able to apply it for some reason. it's like no matter how much I went for tutoring, I asked teachers for extra help. I don't even know how I ended up getting a 4 in math. I took math standard because I was so sure that I was gonna fail that course. So my higher level courses were, was English higher level, history higher level, and then I took French B higher.
No, cheater.
I took French B higher level.
Cheater. No, that's cheating.
No, but you know why I took French B higher level? Okay, you guys, so those of you guys who don't know about IB, right? French B, there are 3 different levels of a language that you can take. So you have French B standard level, and then French B higher level, and then you had French as a second language standard or higher level, and then you had French as a first language, which is pretty much literature, higher or standard level. Now what my school did is that they stopped providing French as a second language, so there was no French AS. So you ended up with a lot of people like me who spoke French fluently, wrote French fluently, but had no interest in doing French literature. So we didn't want to do French literature. So we ended up taking French as a second language, which was like a bird course. Like I didn't even used to go to French class. I used to skip my evening French classes to go to the movies. I used to go to Cardiff on Friday evenings because I had French. And my French teacher always gave me like my French teacher was Spanish, and she always gave me like a 5. My rating, she always gave me a 4 of a 5 because I spent half of the lecture correcting her because she was always making mistakes until we switched to a new French teacher. I think her name was Margot. So we switched to a new French teacher, and then she started giving me 7s. But I always knew that I was gonna get a 7 in French.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't even finish telling you. I took English, French, and history higher level, and then I took chemistry, math, and economics standard level. Nice. I got a 6 in economics.
Nice.
And you know what? That thing boosted my morale. I felt like I was so good at economics. Then when I came to U of T,
you took econ first year, right?
I took econ in first year, and I quit.
Yeah, no, it's not
because I wanted to do international relations, and you needed econ, and then you needed either you took like the econ 100 or the econ 110, where you had to get 80%. But with econ 100, I couldn't even get above 55%. So I quit before it affected my GPA, and that's how I ended up on the dean's list in first year. How did you feel about CAS? The whole community service.
Okay, we start with this community service. It was twofold, because I think on one end they don't really truly try to monitor you. Like you just get a senior person to sign off, like an adult signs off and says that you've done this volunteering. And it's community action and sports.
Yeah,
no.
I don't even know what.
Something
And
like
it's
that.
community action and service or something like. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But,
and so for me, it was interesting because living in Zimbabwe, I was able to work with, I believe it was orphans through the church.
That is so interesting. Okay, because my sister did IB in Togo, and she also had so for community service too, they also worked with orphans. I don't know what is up with Africans.
That's the other thing. It's
They're always working with.
In hindsight, you feel good about yourself. I was like, I helped these orphans, but then now looking back, I'm like, what was I doing?
Exactly. You were just there getting the credit.
Exactly. I was just there getting the credit, capitalizing. No, it was too much. So I'm just like, I wish that maybe there was more guidance with how they select activities and maybe more of a reflection component to things. It was just do your volunteering service and you're good. But I was
my school, CAS was it was pretty big, but because my school was also focused a lot on community service, so for CAS I actually did community, I think it was because you had different activities that you could go into, and I did social services. So for my hours for CAS, I went to French. I was a teacher assistant for French school, for French in schools in Wales. So I pretty much helped I think it was IGCSE students do their French. So that's what I was doing. I was tutoring and assisting in classes, and then I also did I don't know if anyone is familiar with this service in England. What is it called? Life Childline. I did Childline, so it's an emergency service for children, for anybody above the age below the age of 18. So they pretty much call, and then they would either talk about like the issues they're having. So for example, if they were being bullied in school or anything like that, then they would call us, and then we would pretty much like talk to them. Or some cases were really like serious, where like if for example like some people would call if they had like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, and then you'd have to deal with them and then decide if you like speak to your senior advisors, talk if you needed to send an ambulance or an emergency social service checkup for that person and things like that. So that's what I did for my community hours. Theory of knowledge. I hated that class. To me, it was such a waste of time, right? The school that I went to, it was very like all about sharing knowledge and thinking outside the box and things like that. So it was like, why do we also have to take this other theory of knowledge class when pretty much our whole existence in this system is theory of knowledge? What did you do your extended essay in?
I wrote about theater of the oppressed. And yeah, I wrote, what was the essay about?
Look at you!
And I did not do well too. I was surprised. I was like, what? It took a while. I wrote about theater of the oppressed, and I think its connections to anti-racism in Canada, I think. And then yeah, it was terrible.
Are you serious?
Yeah, awful.
You didn't do well? Was it because you felt like you weren't in the like in comparison to the knowledge that you have now? Is it because you felt like it was badly written and it wasn't researched well enough? Or is it because you feel like the people, because like even though it's supposed to be this whole program where you can have different like thought processes and everything, they still push through one agenda? So was it like you felt like they weren't looking at your perspective, or you just felt like you just wrote the thing really badly?
It was a mix of both.
Mix of both.
There's definitely not enough literature, like research-worthy literature. So I was struggling. I was writing a lot, I think, emotively and personally, and that was a problem.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I don't think they were on the same wavelength. Like whoever was correcting my thing just didn't understand the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And so I think I didn't do well. And that's the messed up thing. It's a lot of subjectivity with how things get corrected.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you just guess what I wrote mine in.
Let me see. Something to do with Cameroon?
No, I wrote mine in economics. If you know me, like you know that I suck at economics. Oh my gosh! So I wrote mine in economics. I did my extended essay on Nutella. Wow. I didn't even do that bad.
Good
but I didn't do a lot of research. I made up a lot of my data. I feel so bad. I made up a lot of my data. You know why? Because I did my research paper in Ivory Coast, right? And I went to like several different malls, and I tried to have people taste like because what I did is like I did like a survey I tried to do like a survey with like hundreds of people, and then have them taste like these two different chocolate spread brands, and then see which one they liked. But then people, I don't know if it's an African, people didn't want to taste it. I don't know if people thought I was poisoning them or what. People didn't want to taste the chocolate. So I was there standing in those malls thinking I'm in freaking Europe, where people would just come and do your taste test and stuff like that because it's free. But people didn't want to taste it. Yeah. So I ended up making up a lot of... I feel so bad. I did use research, but like there was definitely bias. I ended up making like a lot of information up. With the knowledge that I have now, I would have probably done my extended essay. If I was to do an extended essay right now, I would have probably done it in history.
Same.
I'd have done it in history. Same. And then picked like because it's so easy to write a paper. Now that I think about it, it would have been so much easier for me to write a paper in history about something like, I don't know, apartheid in South Africa, or the residential schools in Canada, or something like that. So yeah. But yeah, it's so funny. I can't believe I wrote the paper in economics. Yeah. Would you, if you had kids, would you put them in IB? Would
Yes.
you let them do IB?
I would personally, just because you've grown up in international systems your whole education. I
Yeah.
think. Honestly, from high school in Ottawa to IB, if it wasn't for IB, I would not have done well at U of T.
But what of private schools? What of not putting them in private schools?
Okay, good question. Yeah.
Because
Well-
there are lots of different systems. Like for example, right? Like why not take AP, advanced
Yeah.
placement, like have them in the Canadian system and take. I think that I'm going to have them in the Canadian
Yeah.
system and have them take advanced placement
Okay.
courses, unless they are really. Like, I'll let them know how IB is, and then if they're really determined to do IB, then I would definitely encourage. I'll be there to encourage, like, you know, whatever you want to do. But then, like, if they don't feel like doing IB, like my brothers, Charles and Alphonse, they didn't do IB, and Charles is in New York, and Alphonse got into Carleton. So it's like, I feel like it also depends on where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of my friends, I think, like, in Canada, IB is hugely beneficial to you because you need to do very little to get into good universities. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you took the IB, please let us know about your feelings in regards to the whole education system and the whole process behind that. Hope to see you guys in the next video.